When a person first enters a dementia facility, there are both frame gains and frame losses. Frame gains in terms of the person being safe, cared for and warm, and frame losses in terms of the individual feeling that all their freedoms have now gone. So what's important is that frame gains need to be accumulated for the person to be able to manage. If they feel that it's all loss and no gain, then it can become an impossible situation for them. So frame gains can be as little or as much as getting the room comfortable, familiar, a good view. Other frame gains such as walks outside, visits from friends and family, out for half a day on the weekends. All these frame gains really add to the person being able to manage in a dementia facility. It's really important, because if it's all loss and they come in and, you know, they've got a poor quality room, they've got no view, friends and family aren't visiting, and they're unable to get out for a walk when prior they've been a very active person, it's just too difficult. It's almost impossible. Whereas if step by step gains are made, frame gains are made, firstly starting with the room being where the person will be living, that's a really important framework that needs to be sorted out in the best possible way to make it as close to home and as comfortable as home and as familiar as home as possible. So bringing in their favourite armchair, bringing in the favourite bedding and quilt and rug and pillow, you know, bringing in the favourite pictures from home, even if it looks a bit bare at home, in the lounge, because you're bereft now of that nice lounge chair that you may have sat in as well, and the nice pictures that you enjoy looking at. Never mind, if you can be generous enough to bring in the best of the best, or not the best of the best, but more so that which is familiar and comfortable and resonates memories for the resident. A picture, you know, of the family, could be of a family and the children, or of the farm, or a favourite pet, whatever it is that connects the person with dementia, connects them with positive memories. You know, that's the thing. You want to connect them with positive, familiar memories, which are meaningful for them, and that they can look at that picture as they did at home. You know, you will know the favourite pictures of your partner. At home, they will have put that picture in a nice spot so that they could look at it either from the armchair or in the hallway when they come in from after a day at work, or whatever the case may be. But the favourite pictures, 2, 3, 4, there's always a fair amount of space in a room in a dementia facility, at least on the walls. That's the area where you can really maximise effect on the walls, because there's usually 2 or 3 bare walls, so you can fill those with the long mirror so the person can see themselves, you know, when they get dressed, with the whiteboard for appointments and important things that are happening in the week, and pictures, and the clock. There's quite a lot to go on those walls, but they're very valuable spaces and places, because of course the floor space is limited. You can only really manage, you know, the bed. And if the person is a big man, a big tall strong man, it is good to bring in, you know, king single bed or a bigger bed, because most of the beds in dementia units are very small single beds for little old ladies. It's fine, but if it's a big strong tall man, those small beds are not big enough. So bring in a bigger bed so they can have, you know, more, they can rest and relax much more easily in a bed of their own size. So all of these things need to be considered, that the room has a nice view. That's also a gain frame, especially if the man, for example, has been a farmer and there's a view of rolling paddocks, or that was fantastic. Or if the person's been a skier and there's a view of the mountains, etc., etc. I mean, some people actually like looking at roads, interestingly enough. Roads and cars, if they've been on a farm and they've travelled a lot to and from the city, and they've, you know, roads, yeah, they've spent quite a lot of time on the road, or they've been a salesman on the road, or travelled a lot for their job on the road, then looking at cars and streets and roads are quite interesting for them. So it all comes down to the person's preferences and interests and needs, you know, taking into account the individual, their history, you know, their physical strength, what they're interested in, their sporting life, their social life. All these things play a part in being able to increase the gains. I mean, if the person has been very active and is healthy and younger when they come into the unit, they will want to get out for walks. That will be one of the main gains that need to happen for them, because daily, really, they really do need to get out for a walk once a day in the fresh air. If they've, you know, enjoyed the outdoors and been outside each day doing some form of sport, or even anyone that's been active, anyone that's gone for a walk once a day or likes being outside or enjoys gardening, they will need to get outside every day, at least once a day. So that will need to be managed to get those frame gains in. If that's accumulated to the extent, those gains, accumulated to the extent that the person can manage, that is the main point, because you don't want the person escalating up into anxiety or spiraling down into depression, because then what happens is that the person can't manage, and it's difficult to de-escalate someone with high anxiety, and it's hard to bring someone up from, you know, deeper depression if that's where they've sunk to. So that's why we're aiming to keep that person as level as possible. I mean, whenever they come into a dementia unit, most people that come into a dementia unit are very stressed initially, but with the support, with this practical support of being able to make gains for the person, a nice room, taking them outside for walks, knowing they're supported by friends and family, then ultimately the aim is, of course, for them to gain some friendships within the unit, to be able to be involved in the activities and be part of the community. Then, of course, once they're assimilated, then everything eases from that point on. But a lot can be done in the first 2-3 months to help the person assimilate and gather more gains, rather than, you know, experiencing all the losses that can so often happen going into a dementia unit. So I've written these 2 books, The Resident's Voice from a Dementia Unit and The Resident's Rise from a Dementia Unit. Both can be got on Amazon. So I want to thank you all on YouTube and TikTok for all your looks and likes. Just to let you know that I've been doing these channels for 4 months now. I've done, how many? 400 videos, nearly 400 videos, which is a lot. But it needed to be a lot because these people in dementia facilities need to be represented, and their voice needs to be heard, and all their perspectives, the full spectrum of their experiences needs to be heard in the wider community, which is what the books and these videos are about. Now, I'm noting that there's a lot of views on both channels. Thank you so much for that. Subscriptions, of course, are slower. Hopefully they can increase. I would really appreciate it if subscriptions could come in. Those of you that are looking at these videos on YouTube, there are now over 100 subscribers, and TikTok nearly 100, but thousands of views. So those of you that are looking and liking these videos, please pass on the links to others. For example, if you're a younger TikTok viewer, you know your mother, grandmother, friends, family, relatives, those helping others with dementia that could really do with the help and education, please pass on these links. Or if you're on TikTok and you know about all this information, and please tell the YouTube community about it, because the more that this information is spread about, the safer and better it will be, and a platform can be built up. Thank you.